Aggro, we played this a couple of times with Smuggler's Copter. Easily the best deck in the format when Copter was legal. Honestly, I'd be surprised if this deck's still not somewhat reasonable. Just like, you've got reasonable, aggressive threats. Thoughtseize and Fatal Push are probably the best one-man interaction in this format. Murderous Rider is quality removal that's also a threat. I think Rankle is just a very good card, especially when we pair it with recursive threats like Bloodsoaked Champion and Gutterbones that come back. And then we get to play a lot of lands, we get to cast our spells consistently, but on the back of Castle and Mutavault, we also get to use our lands to do stuff with them when we're flooding out a little bit. We've added a couple copies of Pack Rat into the deck as like a pseudo copter. Obviously, it's not on the same power level as Smuggler's Copter, but this is a card that can allow us to turn like extra lands and resources that aren't ideal into something that's a threat in the mid to late game. So let's go ahead and dive on into our first constructed league with Mono Black since Copter was banned and see how it goes. Oh, actually, they changed the preliminary prizes. What do these prizes look like now? They added treasure chests. They added 3, 6, and 12 treasure chests. I guess that's okay-ish. Still not. People are comparing these preliminaries to like the old daily events, and they definitely do not have prizes like the old daily events had. Yes, Mutavault doesn't trigger Pack Rat, but it makes Pack Rats bigger, right? Because Pack Rats power to physical number of rats you control. Yeah, I've got one more modern deck in the queue, but I don't think I plan to play it until it has more points than some of the Pioneer decks, and we got a bunch of Pioneer decks with a lot of points, so we're probably not going to get to the last modern deck till next year. Jake Mann, thanks for the 2 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, Zane looks fine. Mellow! Checking in for the 29th month. Thanks for keeping me around. Welcome back. I think I just lead on the threat here. What does it mean when it says shares rewards with people? So for December, Twitch is giving random emotes to people whenever anybody cheers bits or subs in a channel. Look at that. We're having ourselves a mono color off, it looks like. Got a bunch of removal spells. I'm going to leave them with this Master Blade. I'm just going to go ahead and take this Thess, I think. So our opponent is going to retort us a little bit. Take the dollar emote and replace the cash with coin rolls. And put it on a cloud for a high roller. Maybe. I think 2 Urborgs is too many or just right. The math shows it's unlikely or draw the second, and the upside of it. Yeah, I think that 2 is a reasonable number. I think, like you said, it's a pretty low opportunity cost. It can have a lot of upside. Like Urborg plus Mutavault gives you a hand that otherwise wouldn't be keepable. This was a pretty good draw. I think I'm actually just going to go ahead and attack for 2 and then just cast a Murderous Rider here. Just like a 2-3 lifelinker is going to be pretty reasonable for racing on this board. Hey, Aimbot, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. So if I tried to kill this, they would Storm Tamer it, and then I wouldn't get my 2-3 afterwards. So I think I want to just like deploy my threat and get attacking here. So their hand right now is triple Wizard's Retort, Master of Waves. And they can't deploy Master of Waves and protect it until they have one more mana. So currently winning this race by a good deal. Can it to win it, 11 months, almost there indeed. The sword is within reach. That's true too. Second Urborg does enable Revolt, which is nice in a lot of situations. So we currently got him on a 2-turn clock. And, like, they're not really doing damage to us. Like, they're attacking for 2 and we're lifelinking for 2 at the moment. Stone Cold nothing over there. Sick. Good, clean Levin. Good example of just, like, cheap threats getting in cleanly under counter spells here. Winning the die roll is also good because it allowed us to deploy the Murderous Rider before they could have Murderous Retort up. So in response to these triggers, just in case they have a land they're not playing out, I think I'm going to go ahead and kill this. We could get into trouble here if they have a land, I guess, and they, like, deploy. Okay, now Master of Waves isn't that bad, because I get to kill this. They have to chump block and go to 2. Well, I guess they get to trade with the Gutterbones, but yeah, they're just in at this point. Did I just click submit? I think I just clicked submit, huh? Maybe I want Kalitas instead of Rankle? Maybe? Rankle blocks, though? Kalitas lifelinking isn't nothing, though. What do we think? Kalitas versus Rankle? No, I don't think this is a Rune Raider matchup. They're an aggro deck. Rune Raider's, like, for card advantage against decks that are grinding. Yeah, I think Kalitas might be better than Rankle. No, Spawn's quite good here. Spawn blocks a lot of their stuff. It tramples over their chump blockers. Well, I'm just going to go 2 Kalitas, 1 Rankle. They have, like the 2-3... The 2-3 lifelinker that game was a good example of, like, just like how they have a hard time racing us. My liege, the peasants are spreading rumors that there won't be enough timeouts to last the winter. What should I tell them? Plenty of timeouts to go around. No scarcity here. Sick. Perfect. Gambled in 1, chat. Gambled in 1. Might be playing with fire, not taking the Curious Obsession here. Sweet. Sweet. We drew a 1-mana threat too. That's just perfect. Wonderful. See them to play Gadwick as a 3-3. Holding on to it, eh? Start by attacking. They could have a counterspell here, I suppose. Nothing, eh? All right. I think we've entered the portion of the game where making a pack rat is better than any other spell we can cast, right? I was wrong. I was wrong. That one's better. That one's better. Deck's just like, hold my beer, Jeff. Hold my beer. So they currently have, this is 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 power in play. I'm gaining 3. So I think I just let this happen. And then they took damage. We can pick Gutterbones up, and then we can discard Gutterbones to Pack Rat. Gutterbones is a skeleton, so cannot sack to Kalitas. Kalitas sacrifices vampires and zombies. This is 10 total, right? Yeah. Are we dead? I think we're dead. I saw a tweet about health insurance and I'm blown away by it. I thought Christy worked in corporate America. That's the non-corporate America number, Beetle. So Christy and I had been exploring the idea of her leaving her job. So I had been doing some research on it and I was blown away by that number too. So that would be the non-corporate America number. The number, are they dead? I don't think they're dead. So we can animate 2 Mutavaults, which makes these 4/4s. And then they can block 4, and then they take 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. If we would have drawn an untapped land here, we could have, if we would have drawn an untapped land here, I can animate the 3rd and not attack with it. No, they're still not dead though, right? Because they block 5, and then they take 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So still not dead. So I can fire up a Mutavault and then attack with everything here. Or I can attack with 1, 2, 3. And then I can play Spawn of Mayhem. I'll be at 6. And I'll just be dead to a spell. But if they draw a brick, we could be okay. So if they draw an island next turn, we have a shot. Yeah, gaining more life off of Kalitas doesn't do anything, chat. Because their attack, like gaining 2 more life here is irrelevant. They have 7, 5, 6, 7, 8 power in the air. So gaining 2 more isn't meaningful. So we do this, and then we're not dead if they draw an island. So if they draw an island here, we actually should kill them next turn. Any blue spell kills us because it lets Gadwick tap Spawn of Mayhem though. Correct, Grief. That plan's like a bad joke, and the fact that the system gives it 3 stars is wild. It's like over 12 grand a year in premiums, and you have to pay 16,000 before it even does anything. So you have to pay $28,000 before it's even useful. I think I'm happy with how I sideboarded. We're a little bit close there on the draw. Let's be a little bit more fortunate when we're on the play. This is fine. If this hand draws like running lands, it's actually like really good, right? We're playing a 24 land aggro deck, so hopefully we can do that. What's our ideal draw? Our ideal draw would be another 1-drop next turn and then land the following 2 turns. Oh, that's step 1. I don't think you make decisions like that, Bill Nye. That's not how you play good Magic. Don't ask me with hindsight. Ask me in the moment, did I make the right decision? And I think I did. Yeah, so one thing the Trump administration did, Scottish Reaver, is there's no more fine for not having healthcare. You're legally allowed to gamble now. So they did, you know, Republicans like people gambling apparently, so they made it legal to gamble. Okay, yeah, I mean, like, good rip so far for us. Need to go ahead and attack with these two. If they don't trade off, I get to play Spawn of Mayhem here. Wow, that's aggressive. Defensive? Neat. Okay. Well, we're not Murderous Ridering anything here. They didn't take damage, so I can't bring back Gutterbones, but I can bring back Bloodsoaked Champion, so let's do that. Go. This isn't really a big deal, right? Because I just have this Murderous Rider. Pretty much everything I play comes out of the Q Toxic chips. So, as always, you're welcome to add it yourself, but as you can see, the queue is long and full of terrors, so I don't know that I personally will be adding anything anytime soon. Good guy, Fatal Push. Yeah, dental's a whole nother racket even, Scottish. Your teeth are luxury bones you have to pay extra to keep in the United States. Alright, I don't think I'm rankling yet. I think I'm just, like, smashing them here, and then, like, bringing back Gutterbones and Bloodsoaked Champion. So, like, they can eat this, but then, like, I guess just, like, bring the gang back. And, like, if they eat this, they're taking 4 here. So, Bloodsoaked Champion can come back if I attacked. Gutterbones can come back to my hand if I hit them for damage, which we did. So, go. Second Tempest's kind of scary. Harbinger of the Tides, yep. Alright, that could swing this game for them. They kill us relatively quickly in the air here. Okay, that's good. Gross. That was a good top deck. Close set. Weird that they didn't attack. If they attack, I'm obligated to block. Usually I keep track of it and cash it in when something catches my eye, Mellow. Match 1, game 3, Scooter. It's been close so far. I think I'm just supposed to pass here. Even with the Fatal Push. I guess I could ship in Bloodsoaked Champion and then Fatal Push. That's what I'm supposed to do. Supposed to ship in Bloodsoaked Champion and Fatal Push a Tempest in after they block it. Okay, yep. Maybe I'm supposed to be more aggressive there. That's not a blue spell. Vomit. Yeah. Yeah, those were... We had... Both games 2 and 3 were really close. I feel like if we had been slightly more fortunate, our opponent had been slightly less fortunate, we'd have been okay. You're like, those are games that are like really kind of highlight like why you shouldn't focus on like your record in any given tournament when you're trying to evaluate whether or not a deck's good. Like, very, very small percentages in both games break our way instead of our opponent's way, and like we win both games 2 and 3. Like game 2, if they would have just drawn a land on the last turn, they were dead. And that game, if they would have like drawn slightly worse spells, we'd have been okay. Like we were ahead with them having no cards in hand, and then they drew a Gadwick to draw 2. Gadwick's super impressive. That's definitely a card that I undervalued when first looking at it. It's been very good both in Standard and Pioneer. Thanks, Distorted. Steady up. Yeah, this hand's great. I think, again, we lead on the 1-drop threat. Spirits, yep. And I'm going to lead on Thoughtseize now, so they played a Mausoleum Wanderer on 1. Vomit. That really sucks. They just have like a good turn 2 play regardless of what I do. I think I have to take the Obsession here because I just don't have a Fatal Push. Oh, we are playing against Nasif. You can probably watch this match from the other side on his stream. Again, please no mentions of what cards that are in his hand. Brutal. Are we super dead? I feel like we're super dead. We're gonna hit for 5 here, down to 10. I guess I'm gonna smack them for 3 and play Spawn of Mayhem, so like maybe that can make them pump the brakes, but... Yeah, Thoughtseize bug. To be fair, with the second Mausoleum Wanderer drawn, it really didn't matter what we took there. We weren't going to be able to kill this before I got to use the other Curious Obsession either. Well, I mean, I'm not Murderous Ridering this. Because they have two of these anyway, so it doesn't matter if they have Spell Pierce. They have like 2 Spell Pierces sitting in play. So I get to play Spawn as a 4/4. They don't have a way to take this out of play. This actually stabilizes the board very nicely. If they have any sort of removal spell here, we're just dead. Reflector Mage, Deccan Stone, something to diddle this, tap it maybe. What's the spirit that taps things when it comes into play? The 2/1 for 1? Is it Rattlechains? No, Rattlechains is the hexproof one. I'm blanking out to say there's a 3-drop that taps something when it comes into play though. Nebelgast Herald, yeah, that's the one. If they have a Nebelgast Herald, anything that makes this not block this turn, I'm gonna right click concede. Dungeon Geist is another one too. Nebelgast Herald was the one I was thinking of, but Dungeon Geist is not legal, right? Dungeon Geist was Dark Ascension, right? Which was Innistrad block. Oh, it's in M20. Yeah, you're right, it was. Is the part where we die to our Spawn of Mayhem? I think this is the part where we die to our Spawn of Mayhem. Land. Alright, sick. We're just dead to Spawn of Mayhem, right? Because we go block, block, take 2, Spawn kills us. I can hit for 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 with the drain one. Yeah, that was definitely a good example of like play versus the draw. If we'd have been able to play that game, we might have been able to get under them or like get our board established before we got too far behind. Kind of like the mono blue matchup, it doesn't really look like we have much to bring in here. Our sideboard is targeting very specific things, and we don't have any kind of like generic removal here. I don't think Duress is very good. While they have some key non-creature spells like Curious Obsession, the bulk of their cards are creatures. I guess Noxious Grasp kills some of their stuff, like they're a spell queller deck, I'd suppose. I don't know, I'm just gonna run it back. Camboni, thanks for 11 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I don't even know if it's just like your LGS scooter. Like the format's still got a lot of things going on in it. There's a lot of moving targets. You know, in a different world, we'd be 2 or 3 matches in, boarding in a bunch of cards. Like we've said, the format's very much a moving target, especially even without the bans, this format would be a moving target, but like with the bannings that they've been doing regularly, like, definitely like, it's going back and forth. We're just like hoping to land somewhere okay in the middle. And again, just like, we've lost 3 of the 4 games we've played so far, but they've been super narrow margins. Like the last match was super close, both the games we lost, and like this first game here was like, we win if we're on the play. I mean, blue-white control in general has been doing very well in the format. It won 2 of the 3 major tournaments last weekend, so there were 2 PTQs and a challenge event on Magic Online last weekend, and blue-white control decks won 2 of the 3 of those. I think the approach deck is fine. I think Field of the Dead and Copter being banned were good for blue-white control in general, and I think having a control deck that can actually win the game with approach is quite good. Gonna Fatal Push that right away so we can curve into Pack Rat and start activating. You know what? I should play Mutavault there. Because if they play something I want to Fatal Push here, I could Fatal Push plus activate Mutavault and attack. Alright, now I can Fatal Push plus play Scrapheap Scrounger. Ink Dig's great. Love me some dig through time. That's the card we were talking about, chat. That's the one. It's gonna bin this Rankle. It's on the Pack Rat plan from here. Might cast this Fatal Push at some point, but definitely just like making rats. My body's ready to get like Deputy of Detention to get super punished, but you know, it's the world we live in. Yeah, I think approach just gets you out of situations that you otherwise just are like just dead to rights in Mike. And like Fae of Wishes has felt like a genuinely powerful card in the blue-white control deck in this format. So like playing one approach in your sideboard and one in the main deck is a super low cost. Most people drawn to playing control decks hate winning the game. That's why they play them. So I'm not surprised that people who are control aficionados dislike approach. For people that aren't in Discord and don't follow me on Twitter, as a heads up, I had a primer including a sideboard guide get posted for Blue Red Eldrazi and Pioneer yesterday. So you can find that on the Cool Stuff Inc. website. Oh, geez, they get to diddle both my rats here. That's unfortunate. So if they want to trade here, I can Fatal Push one of their things. And then when they don't want to trade, we'll Fatal Push this one. So every spirit they put into play now taps two of my things. That's fine. We're going to have a third pack right here in a second. You should pop into the Discord. Bunch of good stuff in there. Both magic and life related. A lot of different channels for a lot of different things. Thanks, Jake. Yeah, I think I've been very, very happy with that Archetype in general. I think it's got a good proactive game plan. I think Kozilek's return randomly hoses a lot of different things. Yeah, I feel it's a really sweet mix of like just proactive enough, basically. Like for the mix of proactive and interaction is really great. Huh? I think I'd rather make a pack rat than play. I could play this attack with this one, but I think I'd rather just make a pack rat. Yeah, the blue-green list is also good. The blue-green list is more linear, less interactive. I think if you're into like the linear game plan that the blue-green list is doing, it's more than reasonable. So I should probably put it on my schedule, but I'm gonna be live. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna be live tomorrow night. The daycare that Declan goes to does a Saturday night thing where they like watch movies and stuff with the kids so the parents can do stuff, and Christy has plans. So I think I'm just gonna stream while they go over there. Because Declan really wanted to go, so I was like, sure. So I think I'm gonna fire up for a few hours tomorrow night while I do that. I think they're over there. They're over there from like 5 to 10. It's like super cheap too. It's like $45 for them to watch both kids for 5 hours. Sub $10 an hour for 2 kids is a screaming deal. Yeah. Anytime a sitter comes to the house, it's $12 to $15 an hour. Pack rat was really good there. Which, kind of unsurprising, like pack rat was good against the counterspell deck. It's kind of what you expect it to do, right? Yeah, my kids are 4.5 and almost 6, so like they're finally at that point where like when they wake up in the morning, I can put something on TV and tell them to go eat breakfast, and I can sleep for another hour, which is great. You know, assuming they don't run around the house. Usually pretty good in the mornings. Most mornings I tell them to go watch TV and eat breakfast, they listen. Oh, I forgot to update the stream decker. Let's fix that. Fixed. Go eat TV, kids. Yeah, exactly. They know what it means, right? Go eat the telly. Eat the telly. Really like a Swamp or an Urborg on 1, but the sand's definitely keepable at 6. 3 months for a sword, so whack me for practice. Thanks for the 3/4 of a year, Grief. Nitrous runs through their veins. Oh. Is this Mausoleum Wanderer about to become obsessed? I'm interested to see what today's viewer numbers end up looking like for today with All Pioneer. Yesterday's All Historic stream was quite low. Okay, well, we get to end their obsession at least. We got that going for us. No white mana from them just yet. They seem to be playing a build that's like mono blue splash the eagle so far. Like, I think that's the only white card we've seen. Well, they Reflector Mage. Oh yeah, we saw Selfless Spirit too, right? All right, I think we just take that and hope they just don't draw white source for a little bit, huh? If they hit white next turn, we're probably dead. Yeah, I agree, Beefster. They've done a good. I really like how they've managed this format so far. I think they've done a good job of it. Don't play a second Herald. Whew. A little worried there for a second. Thanks for the 10 months, Robo. Yeah, like I said, the last sub survey I sent out in the beginning of November was overwhelmingly do lots of Pioneer. So I'm interested to see if it remains like that moving forward or not. That was a pretty, as far as non-planes draws go, that one was pretty good. We're on a 2-turn clock now. So I'm interested to see, now that Standard is a little bit better and we've played some Historic, how Pioneer versus the Arena formats look. I should technically play this post-combat, but like, if they have anything, we're dead, so jam. Dead to a white source, dead to a spirit. I mean, just like draw white spells here. Yeah, second round change is lethal. Double Gas Herald was very good there. Close games again. Like games 1 and 3 here, we lost on the draw. I don't really know if there was anything we could do about them. Definitely 2 for 2 on matchups where Smuggler's Copter would be absurd against piles of flying creatures. Decks like what our first 2 opponents there were playing are some of the big winners in the changes away from away from Copter, just because, like, those types of creatures that get blocked by Copter are better now, since that card's not present anymore. Yeah, winning the die roll is big too. Like, we played 2 out of 2 aggro mirrors basically and lost die rolls and died. Three out of 3 aggro mirrors. Cairo, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate it. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Might be a match where we just like play Murderous Rider as a 2/3 life linker here. Plains Privilege, thanks for the great YouTube content. Have some Bezo bucks. Thanks for keeping me around making stuff. I appreciate the entire year. Have a sword for when you're here in Twitch chat. Let's take that one away. So this will attack. We'll see land Steamkin here. Really? Interesting. I guess they want to just start like filling these up with cards. I think I just play this out. It's like make them pump the brakes here. Yeah, I don't know. It felt weird to me that they did that instead of playing Steamkin. It did deny me the ability to put Spawn of Mayhem into play though. Happy Give Jeff Money Day. Can I bump Seasons Pass? You definitely can, Haskow. Thanks for the tier 2. I appreciate it. What you got, opponent? So they have Runaway Steamkin and then 2 cards we don't know here. Murderous Rider being a relatively good roadblock. It's impressive how much better a 2/3 is in this format where Lightning Bolt's not legal against red. Like in a format where Bolt's a 4 of. Rider's a lot worse. Yeah, I agree, Lord Aaron. For the most part for now. And like, I guess to a degree, to be fair, it's a little bit of a wait and see. Like, we don't really know where this format's going to land yet. So like, tier 2 decks always seem good in new formats. So like, we need to see like the end of January is like where we're going to see what this format really is as it develops, I think. Like, they're gonna be aggressively banning stuff until January. So then once this format hits the normal ban list update cycle, seeing how the balance is at that point will give us a realistic picture of where it's heading. Like right now, I definitely think any too extreme takes in the format are a little bit premature. There's another round of... What events are this weekend? There's a challenge. Are there not PTQs this weekend? Weird. This is the first weekend without PTQs? Or did the PTQ already start? No, the PTQ start later, right? Weird. There's no PTQs this weekend. Strange. Alright, well, I'm going to attack for 2 and gain some life. I'm going to play the Spawn of Mayhem. Wide eyes, no fear. Just get my giant flyer down. So I'm blocking the one with less cards under it, because that way if they want to trade it in, they're trading 2 cards for 2 cards. I'm just going to erase them here, I think. And then I'm gonna leave up Mutavault rather than returning Bloodsoaked Champion to play, because I just want to preserve as much of my health total as possible. Just the spawns are gonna kill them in the air next turn, so I don't think I need the extra 2/1 here. And in fact, I'm gonna block with this way if they have like a skewer or something, this doesn't die to a single spell. Kalitas sounds great here. Rankle seems pretty medium. I'm going to bring in a Duress. I'm going to bring in 2 Duress and trim a Thoughtseize. I don't think I ever want to draw 2 Thoughtseizes, but I don't mind some discard spells. I did see they added a bunch of older cards to the arena event. I would bet, based on the list of cards that they put in there, that they're gonna work towards. I bet we see something vintage cube adjacent on arena at some point in 2020. Hey, Duress. Let's get you a sword to go with that shield. Thanks for the 12 months of support. Hope you're having a wonderful day wherever you are. While I obviously haven't seen Arena's code base, I would assume that there's a number of sweet older cards that people like playing with that are easier than others to program, and I wouldn't be surprised if they like add a bunch of cards purely for the purpose of like adding a cube that are easier to program. Yeah, it'd be a good use of their time. They make so much money on vintage cube type things on Magic Online that they're just like leaving money on the table, not doing it on Arena as well. Thanks for the 19 months, Maltmeister. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Correct, yeah. And like things like Time Walk. There are a lot of like sweet older cards. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, just moments before the accident, chat. Moments before disaster struck. Whirly boy up in your base, dropping chains in your face. Yeah, it's popular with Twitch viewing too, Zajad. Like both Caleb and Numot broke like 2,000 viewers playing Moto with Vintage Cube yesterday. Well, on Magic Online, I believe they're Phantom events, I think. Cube is all Phantom on Magic Online, right? If I recall correctly. This Soulscar Mage is actually incredibly good against us because it lets their burn spells shrink my spawn, so my spawn's not actually a good blocker like it should be. For people that aren't familiar, Phantom in regards to Magic Online events means that you don't keep the cards you draft. How much for me to play a cube? 100 American dollars. Nah, this is about normal, Monster Man. The way Twitch streaming works, you kind of ramp up for the first couple of hours. This is about as expected for Experimental Frenzy. Yikes. So we're dead. This is actually a great draw because it means that my Spawn of Mayhem gets to survive and play defense here, which is great. Can we put our shilling towards a cube? No. Maybe, Brecken. When does it run through? Does anybody know? Nah, I'll play most formats for $100 right now. I like money. I don't know. It's just like tough to justify like carving out time for other formats. Or again, for people that like don't frequent my website, like at this current point in time, like after I play the 4 Pioneer decks we're gonna play today, the top Pioneer deck still has 75 points behind it, which means someone chipped in. There's $70 towards it so far. So like, you know. That's why there's just like, there's always an infinite backlog, right? Are we dead? Yeah, we're dead. It runs until the Theros leaves. Okay, so that's a while. That's a while yet. Sure. We were dead to their attack, T-Banks. They were attacking us. They are at 6. Yeah, no problem. The Drunk Owl. There's no point in lying to people. Basically I've got a good setup. So like anytime I'm doing something that's like not my normal stream stuff, it needs to potentially be as much or more profitable than like what I normally do. And like I already like don't have enough hours in the day to do what I normally do as much as I would like. So it's just like pretty hard for me to justify doing anything else. Gosh, their hand is good. I think I'm taking Bone Crusher Giant here. How's Mono Black feeling? It's been rough. I don't know that we beat this. Like, this is, if we die here, it's going to be our 3rd loss. think I'm going to play Magic Legends of all when it comes out. Maybe. Depends on when it comes out, what my life look like, what the stream looks like, whether or not it runs via wine. A game would have to be really good for it to be like make me get a second hard drive and dual boot my PC. That would be sick smart on their part, Jason. If they implemented a cube into Arena and then had cube as one of the formats at Arena Worlds. That would be incredibly well done on their part. So it won't happen? Yeah, basically. Guaranteed to not be the case. This is how I start filling in my shillings deficit, right? You do get once every 30 days, if you cheer some bits or gift a sub, you get a bonus. So I'm going to light up the stage here. They have a Braid, Soulscar Mage in hand still. Alright, they're currently missing a land. Rats. Mizium Mortar something here. Soulscar Mage, light again. Wild Slash, yep. We're winning this race. Pack Rat looking pretty embarrassing here. They're at 9, but they have a Braid and a Mizium Mortars out still. Thanks for the sub, Gifty Brecken. Hope your December is treating you well. Okay, they're playing defense with Soulscar Mage. That's good for us. Yep. That was a pretty good pickup. So they were planning to abrade this and then eat this with the prowess trigger. And then we're kind of ahead at the moment now, right? Because they're out of cards. They can't cast this anymore. We're going to 13, but they just have this Swift Spear left, and I've got like 2 Scroungers in my bin, plus a Murderous Rider here. Grad Student Strike, rough. Wow, are they trading here? I guess they kind of need to. This gains me life, but like I'm at 13, so I think I'd rather just put 5 power into play here. That's a pretty good one. That's a good one for them to not have this turn for us. Pretty sure we're supposed to... Yep, okay, yep, that's the line. I was gonna say, pretty sure we don't attack her and we just kill them. And then we just Murderous Rider this. Yeah, that Chandra as opposed to Torch of Defiance is an interesting choice. Is Torch of Defiance expensive on Moto? Maybe it's a budget choice. What was Torch cost? Chandra Torch is only $8. And you did. I bet, to be fair, I bet this is cheaper than Torch of Defiance. Yeah, Chandra Fire Artisan is $2 versus 8. Oh, I didn't realize the Players' Championship was going on today. I guess that makes sense. That's a 3-day tournament. We probably are going to have a lowish viewer count today then. Although I also suppose the Players' Championship isn't Pioneer, right? The Players' Championship is Standard, Modern, Legacy. Yeah, when I eventually sold my paper stuff, it was like finding a bunch of money. They replaced, no, that was the Invitational. They replaced Standard with Pioneer at the Invitational. I'm pretty sure the Players' Championship is still Standard, Modern, Legacy. Next year, they're cutting Legacy from the tour and replacing it with Pioneer. But I'm pretty sure they did not adjust their Players' Championship. Yeah, weird. Next year will be the year of competitive Pioneer. It's going to be Grand Prix and Players Tours and Opens and NRG tournaments. And our NRG's doing all their team tournaments as Pioneer, Modern, Legacy next year, I believe. I don't think the NRG's doing Standard at all. Honestly, it feels like paper Standard is just like, I'd be surprised if it has much of a future. Yep, can keep this. Gonna ditch the Rankle. Yeah, based on the responses I saw on Twitter, the UK election's gonna have some results. If they go through with Brexit, and like, a couple people were saying apparently Scotland and Northern Ireland are talking about pulling out of the UK. Sounds like a whole mess over there. Whole world just has no idea what it's doing. We're all just making it up as we go. If the US Space Force does encounter aliens and brings them back, they're just gonna like look at our planet and be just like, nah, I'm gonna nope out of here. Okay, so like as someone who is completely ignorant of how the UK works, does the UK kind of work like the United States, where like Scotland, Ireland, England, Wales are different states inside the UK? Is that how it works? Like we have states in the United States? Genuinely have no idea. Don't really understand how things work outside the US entirely. They're countries, not states. So like what is the United Kingdom then? The United Kingdom's a collection of countries, but the UK is part of Europe, right? Are they I thought the UK was part of the EU. Is that true? So like the UK is inside the EU and then all of those countries are inside of the UK? That's how it works? Ireland is not part of the UK. They're sovereign nations represented with representation in UK's parliament, if I remember correctly. Okay. Yeah, I'll have to Google it. Sounds like a giant mess. Keep your nasty chips. Thanks for the Prime support. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'll have to Google. I realized looking at the responses from people voting yesterday after the results, I just read no idea how any of it works over there. Am I an idiot for being tentatively excited about the suspension mechanic in Historic? I don't know. It depends on how they use it. Suspensions could just be lazy bans. It depends on how they use it. There's potential for it to be good. Now the question is, do I deploy Pack Rat or Scrapheap Scrounger? I feel like I'm just supposed to try and Pack Rat them out of the game. No, I have no intention to play the special event on Magic Arena. There's 40 plus decks in my deck queue at any given point. Ain't nobody got time for special events. Yeah, I fully expect if Biden gets the Democratic nomination that the United States is going to get trumped for another 4 years. All right, bookmarking the video. I love the phrase deploy a Pack Rat. Yep. Don't mind me just discarding cards that come back. You have a quarter calling? Interesting. Yeah, I was expecting Collected Company. Quarter calling's interesting. I don't know what format Oklahoma is. Oh, they're a Prime Speaker van if your deck. Are we dead? I think we might be dead. All right, that's a great draw. Kind of a great draw. There's a Selfless Spirit here. Oh! Oh, they were auto-passing! Yay, Moto! Hit that auto-pass hotkey, baby! They just assumed we couldn't kill their thing for 1 mana. Don't tell Scotty, chat. Don't tell Scotty. Scotty doesn't know. You love to see it. It was beautiful, chat. Police, I'd like to report a robbery. Was, don't auto pass. And the thing is too, there's a button on Moto you can press that says pass all priority except in the case your opponent does something. I did see the trailer for Magic Legends. They didn't skip past blocks. They hit their auto pass hotkey, which let me fatal push their Vanifear while they had Selfless Spirit in play. So they could have protected their Vanifear, but they auto passed instead. If Magic Legends runs on my non-Windows computer, I will probably give it a try on stream. If it requires me to install an actual copy of Windows, probably not going to bother, have enough other things to play. Are there good Vanifear combos in this format? No. I'd be hesitant to use the word good to describe them. Voice of Resurgence, yep. All right, I'm going to start by attacking with, just going to ride down this Fleecebane Lion and then attack for 5 here. I think this is probably fine. Try and keep the board a little bit clear. I've got 2 more removal spells in my hand. It's a good draw. Alright, so they have Court of Calling as their last card, so if I kill both of these, they have Court of Calling land, non-green land. So they currently have no castable spells. Yep. It's actually pretty scary. They're going to get to Monstrosity this next turn. I like the Theros video less than the Eldraine one. I think the Eldraine and War of the Spark ones were both a little bit better. It was fine. I just really liked both the Eldraine and the Theros ones. I have no idea how the combo in their deck works, but if they can combo kill us from just a 2-drop, we are dead next turn. I did, and I actually sent his campaign an email asking them to refund my donation. Not only his pivot on corporate pack money, but his pivot on attacking Medicare for all. He basically lied to people early in his campaign. He presented himself as a progressive, and then he pivoted when he realized he couldn't win in that lane. Just very, very typical, everything that's wrong with Washington-style politician. Yeah, I mean, Biden and people like Pete are what Republicans would look like if they were moderates instead of, frothing at the mouth racists. They're what actual moderates look like. Which is fine. I don't mind, I can have a civil discussion with someone who claims to be a moderate or wants to be a moderate. I can disagree with them and not have a problem with them. It's very different than where people like Trump and the current GOP are coming from. Fatal push. Once we trigger revolt here, will let us kill their prime speaker. And they have to block here. Yeah, so I'm not going to pump this because I need my creature to die, so I have Revolt. We have a Scrapheap Scrounger to bring back here. All right, 2-2, chat. Time for the burrito match. Or seven American dollars riding on this third match of Magic. Let's get that deliciously stuffed bread, chat. $7 riding on this match of Magic, which in no way resembles gambling. Just to let the record reflect, in no way resembles gambling. Not even close. Fatty burrito. If the burrito isn't the size of your head, chat, is it even really worth eating? That's the real question. Is it even worth considering as a burrito if it's not the size of your head? This hand doesn't have any of our cheap disruption in it, but it's got a pretty okay curve. I'd love to draw another 1 mana spell on 2 so we can go 1-drop and a double 1-drop. One mana spell. Ding, ding, ding. Ring-a-ding-ding. That's all we needed to curve out perfects. Wow. That's a lot of white cards. All right. I think I'm actually just taking the Supreme Phantom here. This is a good die roll to win. That breeding pool is gorgeous, by the way. They have a lot of really gorgeous artwork in various Moto promos. So just like, gonna hold up Spellqueller here, deal. I'm gonna pump my Knight of the Ebon Legion if that's okay with you. Wait, what? Oh, no! That's... Opponent made an oopsie. Opponent did an oopsie poopsie. They sacked the food for life instead of casting a... you hate to see it, chat. You hate to see it. Should I cut my 4-drops and bring in Grasp to drag my curve down against their counterspell deck? We had Thanksgiving burritos locally. 2-pound full Thanksgiving dinner in a burrito shell. That's, you know, chat, we're playing for $7. We take those wins when we're playing for $7. That's all I'm gonna say. When there's $7 on the line, we'll take it. That's true. We're like, we won the last match because they have sixed. Oh, Moto. Yeah, his hand's great. Sign me up. Pretty sure we just kicked the goose in the chest this game. Wrong spell. This one. You. Gosh, that Temple Garden is beautiful too. We're win trading for burritos, something like that. All right, let's get rid of that one. 1-3 is a little bit scary. I don't know how I attack through that one. Need to find a removal spell here. I did not, Eric. Seasons Past Dark Pack. Seems neat. Don't really have any good attacks here. They gonna command something? They could put a counter here and eat the Scrapheap Scrounger. This puts a counter on something and then makes two things fight. Here are its relevant modes here. This can come back eventually, but I don't currently have anything in the bin to bring it back with. So close to the castle, Marty. Thank you for the 44 months and everything else over the last few years. Hope your Friday is going well. Okay. Is your last card Spellqueller. Pick my Gutterbones back up. Discard it to my pack rat. Rinse and repeat. Ooh, they have another rattle change. They currently have 9-11 power. Are we dead? I think we're dead, chat. I mean, everything's gonna pass in the house, Scooter. Nothing will happen in the Senate. Lindsey Graham and co. have firmly decided that if you are a Republican, it is impossible for you to commit crimes while in office. Thanks for the 15-month squad. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Alright, let's get him. I think I'm just supposed to go threat into threat here. The goose on one, am I supposed to Thoughtseize? Maybe. I'm gonna go threat into threat. Why has Trump not had to testify? That's the other thing, too. Like, if you were a normal person and you ignored subpoenas, they'd come arrest you and drag you off to jail. But, like, if you work for the Trump administration, you just get to ignore subpoenas. Just for the record, Sandohawk, in case you're new here, your sub icon implies you're new here. Lazy, they're all the same rhetoric is not welcome in this channel. I know you think you're being fair and balanced when you try and say they're all the same, but for the uninformed and the ill-equipped to understand politics, they're all the same is a pro-GOP statement. Thanks for the half a year, Cavoth. They're all the same are mantras that people on the right push to generate apathy in the average voter to make them feel like they don't have a meaningful choice. And you're right. There are shitty people all over the world, but to imply that what's currently happening under the current administration is the norm and what always happens in politics shows a fundamental level of ignorance that's just not okay right now. It shows ignorance of the history of what's going on in the United States and what this current administration is doing. Thanks for the 5 months, Meatballs. Come for the magic, stay for the rants and the politics. I appreciate it. Yes, blatant apathy is what's gotten us to the place where we are today. Fully agree. I agree that not all Democrats are the same. I would greatly prefer that Joe Biden or Pete Buttigieg or the other people who are moderate centrist did not get the Democratic nomination in this upcoming election. But to imply that those centrists are the same as what's currently going on in the GOP is just fundamentally untrue. It's factually incorrect. If you think all of the political parties are the same and it doesn't really mean anything, that's probably because you come from a place of privilege where for you, they might be all the same. But for many people who come from groups that are minorities or have their rights suppressed for various different reasons, all the parties are very much not the same. And that's not to say that there's not progress to be made within the Democratic Party. There's a lot of progress to be made there. There's a reason why a bunch of people who are Democrats voted for that awful space bill that passed through the House yesterday. So like that, again, don't think that's okay. But like to say that that's the same as what's currently going on, where Republicans are literally killing every bill that goes into the Senate, regardless of what it is, that's nonsense. Again, it's the defense bill that passed yesterday includes lines and funding items for a space force. I kid you not. And the bill that passed has it's like a $758 billion thing. And it does more than that too. It includes lines for Space Force. They also did what they always do and tacked things on for extra bills. Like part of the reason some of the centrist Democrats voted for it was because it includes lines about family leave for federal employees, which is a good thing, but it doesn't belong tacked onto that bill. I think we just fire up the Mutavaults and smash the squad here. Yeah, it passed yesterday. It included paternal leave for federal employees. And again, if you look at the roll call for who actually voted on it, the people that are actually progressive Democrats like AOC and others who are pushing for the new Green Deal and stuff, those people voted no on that bill for a reason. Oh, all right. I'll take a couple draw steps still, I guess. I'll take a couple draw steps, I guess, yeah. They want that burrito more than us. Castle would be a great draw. You know what? We're just going to kill their next couple of plays and slowly kill them, right? They're at 3. I think it's wrong to kill the geese. I think I'm supposed to attack with this. And just, slowly kill their stuff. Sweet. This is actually perfect for us because it lets us kill this and deploy the Murderous Rider this turn. How do you change your sub badge? Your sub badge automatically changes the longer you're subscribed. Yep. All right, not dead for the burrito yet, chat. Chip in a chair, chip in a chair. That's very good. Can't Noxious Grasp that one. Hey, Fire Emblem, thanks for the 11 months of support. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. Okay, deploy a third lethal threat. Go. Shock lands are currently tapped for them. Chirp. Did we do it? Did we beat the 6-for-1 settle? All right. All right. Glad we didn't tilt concede. Glad we didn't tilt concede. All right, thoughts after playing. I don't know if it's just because of the matches that we played. It could definitely be because of the matches that we played, but like, Rankle was really bad in that set. I feel like after playing through, yeah, we lost 2 close ones to flying decks. Rankle was kind of medium overall. I feel like after playing those games, I would be inclined to get rid of these, put these 2 Kalitas in the main, and honestly, I cut the 3rd pack rat you had, Scooter. I think that was a mistake. I think I'd do this. I think the 4th Murderous Rider in the main is correct. I think Murderous Rider is very good. But I think I would do this main deck if I were to play this again. As far as the sideboard's concerned, I feel like I would like a couple of cheap removal spells just for like generic creature matchups that are like less specific than Noxious Grasp. Like Cast Down or Ultimate Price or something like that is like a pair of in the sideboard. Having more things that kill big green creatures in the matchups. Yeah, you could play actual factual Doomblade. Like, yeah, actual Doomblade's probably pretty good. Grasp of Darkness could be fine. Like, with Copter getting banned, you're going to run into other black aggro decks less, so actual factual Doomblade could be good. You could Coward split it too, like play 1 Cast Down, 1 Doomblade, but yeah, I did feel like as far as generic extra removal is concerned, I would like to board up to 10 removal spells, 4 push, 4 rider, 2 others in generic creature matchups where Noxious Grasp isn't good. And I think I would like Doomblade, Cast Down, something like that like kills creatures in the mono green stompy matchup as well. I think those would be my changes. Just two Cast Down as a placeholder probably. Urborg is relevant with Mutavault in more than one game. I think the pair of them is fine. The second one being awkward comes up very rarely, and occasionally playing the second Mutavault and the second Urborg enables Revolt for Fatal Push, which can be relevant. Yeah, anytime, Scooter. I appreciate the support. All right, so we got 3 more Pioneer decks coming up today. This is an all Pioneer stream today. We're going to be playing some Blue-Red Improbable Alliance up next here. I'm going to go ahead and hit a quick ad roll while I get set up for this one. We'll be back in a few minutes with this deck. Thanks for hanging out, folks.